Here's a statistic that will make your blood run cold. 68% of cheating wives never get caught by their husbands. But here's what's even more disturbing. 89% of those same wives show clear signs of guilt that their husbands completely miss. I'm a woman, and I'm about to break the silence on something we don't talk about. When women cheat, we don't just hide the affair. We hide the crushing guilt that follows. And that guilt, it shows up in patterns so predictable, it's almost criminal that no one teaches men to recognize them. Your wife might be showing you every single sign right now, and you're missing them because you're looking for the wrong evidence. You're checking her phone while ignoring the fact that she's been psychologically unraveling right in front of you. Stop looking for proof of the affair, because guilt always leaves fingerprints. Before we dive deep into these signs, I need you to do something. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. This channel exists to give men the brutal truths that society refuses to tell you. And here's what I want you to do right now. Drop a comment below with your city. I want to know where my strongest viewers are watching from. This message is for you. Sign 1. The overcleaning compulsion. Here's something most relationship experts won't tell you because they don't understand the female psyche like I do. And what I'm about to reveal might shock you with how precise and predictable it actually is. When a woman cheats, guilt doesn't just stay locked away in her mind like some dark secret. No, it erupts into her physical world through compulsive cleaning behaviors that seem to materialize out of thin air, and the intensity of these behaviors directly correlates with the depth of her guilt. Psychologically, she's desperately trying to cleanse her conscience through external actions. Her subconscious mind creates this twisted logic that if she can make everything around her absolutely spotless, somehow she can scrub away the filth she feels coating her soul. It's like her brain is running this primitive program. If I clean enough, maybe I can clean away what I've done. If I can control the mess around me, maybe I can control the mess inside me. But here's what makes this so revealing. The cleaning becomes almost ritualistic, obsessive, with an underlying desperation that you can actually feel when you watch her do it. Let me break down exactly what this looks like, because the devil is in the details. She'll start obsessively cleaning things that don't need cleaning, and I mean things that are already pristine. I'm talking about washing dishes that are literally sparkling clean, scrubbing counters for the 3rd or 4th time in one day, or completely reorganizing closets that were perfectly organized just last week. Watch her laundry habits closely. She'll wash clothes immediately after wearing them, even if she only had them on for an hour to run to the store. She'll rewash clean clothes that have been sitting in the dresser. She'll wash towels after one use, sheets more frequently than ever before. Pay attention to her relationship with surfaces. She'll clean her phone screen constantly, almost compulsively wiping it throughout the day with a cloth or her shirt. You'll catch her cleaning the same kitchen counter, bathroom mirror, or coffee table multiple times in a row, as if she's in some kind of trance. But here's what really gives it away. Watch her emotional state while she's cleaning. This isn't the satisfied, accomplished feeling of someone who enjoys a clean home. This is frantic, almost panicked energy. She might seem irritated, anxious, or completely absorbed in the task to an unhealthy degree. This behavior typically escalates over time. It starts with normal cleaning that becomes slightly more frequent, then progresses to this obsessive, ritualistic behavior. And here's the kicker. She might not even realize she's doing it. If you point it out, she'll have logical explanations. I just want our home to be nice, or I've been feeling more motivated lately. But the timing reveals everything. This cleaning obsession doesn't gradually develop. It appears suddenly, intensifies rapidly, and often happens right after she's been with her affair partner or had contact with them. This isn't about being neat or having high standards. This is about psychological purging. Her guilt is so overwhelming that her brain tricks her into thinking physical cleaning equals emotional cleansing. Sign 2, the gift-giving guilt. But here's where it gets really twisted, and this is something that confuses most men completely. A cheating wife will often start giving you unexpected gifts or doing things she never did before. And your first instinct is to think, great, She's being more loving. But brother, you're reading this all wrong. She'll cook your favorite meal out of nowhere, claiming it's just because. She'll buy you something you mentioned weeks ago that you never expected her to remember. She'll suddenly become more affectionate in public, holding your hand when she used to walk beside you with distance. She'll do household tasks she usually avoids or complains about. She'll offer to run errands for you, buy your coffee, or surprise you with small gestures that feel forced. This isn't love. This is guilt trying to balance the scales in her mind. She's unconsciously trying to pay for her betrayal with good deeds. It's like her psyche is keeping a ledger, and every nice thing she does for you is supposed to offset the terrible things she's doing behind your back. The key difference: genuine affection feels natural and flows from emotional connection. Guilt-driven kindness feels performative and often comes with a weird intensity or timing that doesn't match the moment. If your wife suddenly becomes overly generous or helpful without any clear reason, especially if this behavior is completely out of character, your alarm bells should be ringing. Sign 3, the confession rehearsal. Now this one will absolutely blow your mind because it reveals how guilt literally rewires her brain. She'll start having bizarre conversations that sound almost like confessions, but they never quite get there. It's like she's testing the waters, seeing how you'd react if she ever told you the truth. Listen for these conversation patterns. She might say things like, "What would you do if I ever?" and then trail off or quickly change the subject. She'll tell you about strange dreams where she was unfaithful, studying your face for reactions. She'll bring up stories about other people cheating, always focusing on your response. My friend Sarah told me about this woman at work who had an affair. Can you believe people do that? What kind of person cheats on their spouse? She's unconsciously rehearsing the conversation she's terrified to have. Her guilt is so heavy that part of her desperately wants to confess, but she's too scared of the consequences. You might notice her starting serious conversations and then backing away from them. She'll say, "We need to talk," and then discuss something completely mundane. This is her guilt trying to force a confession while her fear shuts it down. Pay attention to hypothetical questions about forgiveness, second chances, or what you'd do in various betrayal scenarios. She's not asking out of curiosity. She's gathering intelligence for a conversation she hopes she'll never have to have. Sign 4, the phantom phone syndrome. Here's what most men miss completely when they're looking for phone-related cheating signs. Everyone talks about password protection and secretive texting, but I'm going to tell you about something much more subtle and revealing: phantom phone behavior. It's not just about hiding her phone from you. It's about her relationship with her phone becoming completely neurotic, even when you're not around. Watch for these specific behaviors. She'll check her phone when there's no notification sound, no vibration, nothing. She'll pick it up, look at it, and put it down within seconds, multiple times throughout conversations with you. You'll catch her typing messages, but not sending them. She'll start writing something, delete it, start again, delete it again. She's constantly crafting and recrafting messages to her affair partner, trying to strike the perfect tone. She'll quickly close apps when you walk by, even if you weren't trying to look. She'll have her phone face down even when she's alone, because the guilt makes her hyper-aware of it as evidence against her. Suddenly, her phone battery is always dying at convenient moments. When you try to use her phone for something innocent, like looking up directions, it's mysteriously out of power. Her guilt makes her treat her phone like a bomb that could explode and destroy her life at any moment. She becomes hyper-vigilant about managing what you might accidentally see, even in moments when you're not paying attention to her phone at all. Sign 5, the sleep pattern disruption. But the most telling sign happens when she thinks you're not watching, and it reveals the true cost of betrayal on the human psyche. Guilt disrupts sleep in very specific ways that you can observe and document. You'll notice she's awake when she thinks you're sleeping. She'll lay there staring at the ceiling, tossing and turning more than usual. She might get up frequently during the night, claiming she needs water or has to use the bathroom, but she's really trying to escape the suffocating feeling of lying next to you while carrying this secret. She'll start falling asleep on the couch by accident, avoiding your shared bed, because the intimacy of that space makes her guilt unbearable. Suddenly, she needs sleeping pills, melatonin, or other sleep aids that she never needed before. You might catch her scrolling through her phone at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. She's not insomniac by nature. Her conscience won't let her rest. Here's the psychological truth. When we betray someone we love, our subconscious mind becomes our worst enemy. It replays the betrayal, imagines getting caught, rehearses explanations, and cycles through guilt and fear all night long. If your wife's sleep patterns have suddenly changed without any medical reason, job stress, or other obvious cause, pay very close attention. Her body is telling you what her mouth won't. Sign 6, the emotional pendulum. Here's where psychology meets reality, and this sign is absolutely crucial because it shows you the internal war she's fighting. A guilty wife will swing between extreme emotions toward you, and these swings will seem to come out of nowhere with an intensity that doesn't match the situation. She'll pick fights over absolutely nothing, then be overly sweet and apologetic. She'll criticize you harshly for things she used to find endearing, then praise you excessively for basic actions. She'll act cold and distant one moment, then clingy and needy the next. One day she'll be annoyed by your presence, asking why you're home so early, or why you're always around. The next day, she won't want you to leave the house and will find excuses to keep you there. This isn't mood swings or hormones. This is guilt creating emotional chaos in her mind. She's angry at herself, but projecting it onto you. She loves you but feels like she doesn't deserve your love, so she pushes you away. Then she feels guilty about pushing you away, so she overcorrects with excessive affection. She's trying to make you the villain in her story, because it's easier than admitting she's the villain in yours. If she can find fault with you, she can justify her betrayal to herself. But then reality crashes back in, and she remembers that you're not the problem. She is. So she swings back to being loving, trying to prove to herself that she's still a good wife. Watch for these emotional extremes, especially if they happen in rapid succession and seem disconnected from anything you've actually done. Sign 7, the social media silence. Now this one is crucial in today's digital age, and it reveals how guilt affects her public persona. A guilty wife will dramatically change her social media behavior, and most men don't even notice because they're not paying attention to the psychological significance. She'll suddenly stop posting couple photos. Pictures of you two together, which used to be regular content, completely disappear from her feed. She'll remove her relationship status or make it private. She won't tag you in posts anymore, even when you're together at events or locations. She becomes too busy for social media, claiming she's trying to be more present in real life. But the truth is, guilt makes her feel like a fraud when she displays your relationship publicly. Every couple photo feels like a lie. Every love my husband post feels like mockery. Every anniversary or date night she shares feels like she's deceiving not just you, but everyone who follows her. She might even delete old romantic posts about you, claiming she's cleaning up her profile or that those posts are too personal to keep public. Here's what's really happening. Social media requires her to perform the role of a loving, faithful wife, and guilt makes that performance unbearable. She can lie to your face in private moments, but broadcasting those lies to the world feels like a level of deception she can't sustain. If your wife has suddenly gone quiet about your relationship online, especially if she used to be active about sharing your life together, that's a major red flag that something has fundamentally changed in how she views your marriage. Sign 8, the future planning freeze. And here's the final sign that reveals everything. And once you understand this one, you'll see how guilt literally rewrites her relationship with time itself. She'll stop making future plans with you. Not just big plans, but any plans that require her to imagine herself still being with you months from now. She'll avoid discussing vacations or trips you used to plan together. She won't commit to events that are months away, even things she used to get excited about. She stops talking about when we, or someday will, and becomes vague about holidays, anniversaries, or future goals. When you bring up future plans, she changes the subject, gives non-committal answers, or says things like, let's see what happens, or we'll figure it out later. Why does this happen? Because guilt makes her feel like a fraud, planning a future she's not sure she wants or deserves. How can she plan your anniversary dinner when she's betraying your marriage? How can she book a couple's vacation when she's giving her intimacy to someone else? Her affair partner represents a different possible future, and she's psychologically torn between two timelines. Planning with you feels like closing the door on her other options. But more than that, future planning requires emotional investment and hope. When you're living in active betrayal, you can't invest emotionally in the person you're betraying. It's psychologically impossible. If your wife has suddenly become resistant to making any plans that involve both of you in the future, that's not about being spontaneous or living in the moment. That's about guilt, making it impossible for her to imagine a future where she's still deceiving you. But here's what I want you to understand. Knowledge is power, and your intuition brought you to this video for a reason. Something in your gut told you to search for answers, and that instinct is worth listening to. You deserve honesty. You deserve loyalty. You deserve a partner who chooses you every single day, not someone who's living a double life while you're building a real one. If you recognize multiple signs in your relationship, don't ignore them. Don't make excuses. Don't convince yourself you're being paranoid. Trust your gut. You know her better than anyone, and if her behavior has fundamentally changed in these specific ways, there's a reason. But remember this, these signs don't prove infidelity. They indicate guilt. And guilt can come from many places. Maybe she's thinking about cheating but hasn't acted. Maybe she's having an emotional affair. Maybe she's done something else that's making her feel guilty about your relationship. The point isn't to become a detective or to accuse her without proof. The point is to trust yourself enough to have the hard conversations, to ask the difficult questions, and to demand the respect you deserve. If these signs resonated with you, if you've been sensing something is wrong but couldn't put your finger on what it was, let me know you're awake now. And if you're ready to stop questioning your sanity and start trusting your instincts, subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, because I'm going to keep telling you the hard truths that other people won't. I'm going to keep breaking down female psychology in ways that help you navigate relationships with clarity instead of confusion. Drop the city you're watching from in the comments. Remember this, a man who trusts his instincts is a man who respects himself. A man who pays attention to patterns is a man who protects his peace. You came here for answers. Now you have them. The question is, what are you going to do with them? Until next time, stay strong, stay aware, and never apologize for wanting the truth in your own life.